everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Fab Friday. So for this week, we are going to be using some pasties in Put on the Glitz and Salt to the Earth, some mini clothespins, some cork confetti, and some morning dewdrop sequins from the Spiegelmom Scraps shop. This is the photo we're going to be using, and then the other products I've chosen are from the newest mini kit from Feed Your Craft. I love Feed Your Craft kits. They're so cute and fun to use, and I'm going to show you how to get the most out of your kits when there are cut apart cards, or when they're project life cards. But I'm going to start with a little bit of mixed media on my layout. So this is a stencil from Chamel. It's from the True Stories collection, and I'm just putting through some of the Salt of the Earth pasties. And what this is going to do is it's going to provide a tone-on-tone matte design. And at the end of the day, this layout, this stencil work that I'm going to do is more texture than actually like that it looks like lots of little hearts. At the end, because I'm doing it super messy and super quick and all that, it just really looks like some really nice texture. So what I'm going to do and what I'm going to go for here is for a diagonal design, and this is after the pasties dries, and I'm showing you that there's gaps. What am I going to do with those gaps? Well, I'm going to fill them in with the Putting on the Glitz pasties, which is clear and will just provide shimmer. So this is really cool. I'm probably going to use this in another layout next week as well, but I'm going to put it over some color, which is going to be really fun. So I have a little bit of a plan for that for next week. But for this week, I just want to use it plain to show you that it is clear and glittery, and it's a really fun, neat kind of product. So now everything is dry, and you can see that you can tell there's hearts there, but they're very kind of messy and mottled, and that's okay. That's what I wanted. So my next idea here is that I want to put something behind this. Oh my goodness, my words just totally disappeared. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm trimming off 1/4 inch of my paper, and I'm going to place it onto a cardstock by Felicity Jane. So this layout is an 8.5 by 11, in case you're looking, kind of noticing looks a little different size. It's an 8.5 by 11, and all I'm doing here is I'm just going to I already trimmed down the Felicity Jane cardstock, and I'm just going to add a little bit. So just as an FYI, the pasties warp very, very little, just a teeny tiny little bit. I wanted it more for the color than for anything else. And now I am taking that clothespin and I'm going to clip my photo and that 3x4 card from the kit together. Another interesting fact that I discovered about the pasties, things don't like to stick to them very much. So I had to use, for most of the layers and things on this layout, I used both a dry adhesive and a wet adhesive. And then when the layout was completely done, I did go back through and add more Scotch wet adhesive to places that were kind of popping up, because there were some places popping up. So this is going to be my journaling. It's on this little tag, and I'm going to fiddle with it just a little bit. I think about putting it at the top somewhere, but I don't like it. I like my original idea better, which is to go ahead and put it on the bottom of the layout, and then to take some Scotch quick dry adhesive and wind the string from the tag up through the 3x4 card and also the photo a little bit. And so what I just did was I drew with my glue just some squiggly kind of fun little loopy lines, and I did it kind of fast so I could do that. If I had any extra leftover glue, I could just wipe it right off my photo, and it comes off without a problem. You can't even tell in the original photo that I had gotten a little bit of glue there. So I'm just going to go through and kind of tack down the edges and make sure everything's kind of stuck where I want it to be stuck, and then we'll go on to the next part of this layout. So the next thing we're going to work on is our cards. So I am going to cut these Project Life cards all up and use them in a variety of different ways. So the white one that's off to the left, I already fussy cut a circle from it, and now I'm cutting strips from this dark green one. Unfortunately, nothing in this layout has to do with chickens. So I'm just going to take some strips and I'm going to cut off the chicken tracks. I do love the chicken tracks, and I really wish that I had a really good layout to do with them, but I really didn't. And I loved that solid green color, and I wanted to get that into the layout on some other places. So I'm just cutting strips and trimming them up, and then to reinforce that diagonal design that I wanted from the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and add the strips to the top and the bottom and around my photo as well. And this layout really is about, you know, the gorgeous products at Spiegelmom Scraps. But as an aside, this is a great layout to showcase how to cut apart these project life cards and use them on a 8.5 by 11 layout. I'm sure you could also use them on a 12 by 12 layout as well. But I was so excited, and the cards just sparked some really great stories for me in this kit. They always do, the feature craft kits. Even just seeing pictures of them, I'm always inspired to document certain stories. And so there were two right off the bat when I got my kit that I knew I wanted to do, and this was one of them. As a last added little touch to these 3 parts of my layout, I'm going to go ahead and staple it, and then we're going to take another card, and I'm going to cut just the wording off of this. So there's wording at the top of this card that says the view from here, and I'm going to go ahead and add just one strip of the word to 3 different areas of my layout. And now we're going to play a little bit with stamping. So this is the 3x4 card that I cut that circle, that map circle from, and I'm going to use it to stamp some of the cameras from the stamp set that were included in the kit. So this stamp set has some gorgeous cameras, and I happen to love camera stamps stamped in black on white cardstock. I don't know why I love that graphic look, but I really, really, really do. So I knew that I really wanted to take all 3 of the camera stamps from the stamp set and use it to create 3 different embellishments. And I'm using the 3x4 card that came in the kit that I cut that circle from to go ahead and fussy cut out those stamped images. So now those three cameras are at the places that I want, and now I'm going to punch some circles from this last little bit of this 4x6 card, and I'm going to use that on 3 different places in the layout as well. So what I'm doing here is I am creating my diagonal design. I'm using the cork stars, I'm using 3 of the flares from the kit, the punch circles, and I'm creating 3 different clusters, and you can see where I have those 3 clusters here. I wanted the cork because I thought that it brought in a little bit of a pop of contrast of brown among all the black and whites and greens, and I just love these little cork stars. They're super duper cute from the shop. And I really want this design to have that diagonal look to it. And so I thought by doing the stars kind of trickling down, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the morning dewdrop sequence in the same respect to trickle down from the top left to the bottom right, following that line. So I'm just placing my elements where I like them, gluing them all down, and then my last touch is going to be these morning dewdrop sequins. And I'm not going to make you watch me put them all down, but you get the idea of what I'm doing. I'm making them kind of look like they're cascading down across the page, just in a lot of spots. And you know what, this doesn't take a long time. It takes a long time when you have to watch it, but when you're actually doing it, it doesn't seem like it is. So here I've just added some extra adhesive because, again, parts of my layout were kind of popping up and not sticking to the pasties, and so I wanted to make sure everything was stuck down and doing well. And this will pretty much complete the layout. I was going to put my date on here, but I realized that my date stamp didn't go past 2011, and this photo was taken in 2010, so I'm just going to write the date at the bottom. I hope you've enjoyed this Fab Friday layout. I am fighting with a little bit of a cold, but I think I did pretty good. Not too many sniffles today, but my voice is still kind of jaggy and congested. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Fab Friday. Bye!